excellence in your house wasn't an optional thing, it was an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Speak a little bit to the way your mother also played a part in her role of raising you boys in what you guys had up here away from football.
How my dad was on the field or in the weight room, she was the same way academically. So she was checking grades every week, making sure we're doing our homework, putting us into extra stuff, taking the SAT in French, German, and English.
Damn.
On the way to school, my mom's from Germany, so German is her first language. She only speaks German to us, but on our way to school, we all got to make sure we read 10 minutes of a German book in the car out loud so she can hear it. If I'm getting dropped off first, I'm gonna start reading first. I get dropped off, boom. Osiris starts reading, then EQ, whatever it is. Vocab words, if we want to play video games, we got to get 10 vocab words in, front to back, go back to her, test it. If we don't get it right, go back, restart. Until we get them right, then we can play the game or go out, whatever it is. So she was on us, how my dad was in the weight room or on the field, academically. So we knew going to school, it was, if we don't get it right, there's going to be problems when we go home. So we're going to class, we're not talking about, oh, I feel sick, I don't want to go to school. We got to go. Because we know if we don't go to school, you're going to get back on homework. It's going to all back up. And then at some point, you have to take the test. You can't run away from the test too long. So we knew, like, those games don't work. We gotta have grades. We want to go, my brother wanted to go to Stanford his whole life. So he knew, his goal was Stanford, Stanford, Stanford. And he was going to make sure he got there. And that's what he did. Notre Dame, USC, in AP classes. I remember still to this day, like, you go sign up for your classes in high school. I was going to Mater Dei at the time, and all my buddies were on the football team. And so I'm trying to have class with my boys. I want to be in the same class, have fun with them, laugh and joke. But I'm signing up for AP classes, and none of my team is AP class. So every class I was in high school, from freshman to senior year, I probably didn't have one teammate in any of my classes. I was in the nerd classes all the time. So I was used to it, though. Like, I would make friends with the smart people because I'm around the football team all the time. If I can have time to spend with some other people that might look at things differently, it was cool for me. So I got used to it. But I just remember in high school, I always wanted to have class with my friends. I never had it. But I'm glad. I'm glad it happened the way it did.
Did you ever think to yourself, because I would get it a lot with my son, when he worked out at school, when the homeboys are off and they got to go, he had to come see me. Or because he was also being recruited by Stanford, so he got in AP classes in his freshman year because he thought that's where I wanted to go to school, so I need to have my grades at a certain point. Did you and your brothers ever have conversations and look at your friends and look at your peers and say to yourself, this is the way we live is an anomaly compared to kids our age? Did you ever feel different from the people you were around?
I did, but it didn't stop me from getting along with them or making friends. Having my two brothers, I think, helped, because if I was doing it by myself, I probably went crazy, but I wasn't the only one going through it. I had two other brothers doing the exact same thing as me, so it was easy for me to go and do what my parents said or go work out in the morning. Can't do this, can't do that. We all three aren't going out then. So It was easy because I had two brothers, but it never stopped. Like, I knew the life that we lived wasn't normal because as a kid, we traveled the world. We were in Europe, Spain, Italy, Germany, France, London. We went everywhere. Went on a lot of cruises, went to school in France, did a bunch of different things. And I'll go to school and be like, you ever left the country? But nah, I've only been here in California. I'd be like, that's crazy. Like,
yeah,
I think it's normal to go travel, but apparently it's not because I'm the only one that did it. So I knew we lived a unnormal life, but I was doing it with my two brothers, so it was fine.